Transaction Capital is a non-deposit taking financial services group operating in asset-backed lending that's mainly in South Africa.
And mainly in the taxi industry, actually. After stripping out Bayport and a couple of other businesses, the SA Taxi Finance is the core of this group.
Market cap 6.7 billion rand, PE ratio of 15.9, dividend yield here of 2%. These aren't small companies if you look at market cap.
No, they're surprisingly big actually when you look at them, and quite right. So you've got the taxi side to this, where they have a nice taxi financing business. They say they've got a third market share of all finance taxis out there, and then they've started to sell taxis, so they make a bit of margin on selling taxis, and then the insurance on taxis. And then on the other side, a debt management, debt collection business. Sold Bayport, sold Paycorp, so they've sort of shrunk down quite aggressively. Pretty conservatively capitalized, well capitalized as a result. The flip side of that, the negative, is it depresses the return on equity. So you have quite a low return on equity. So you have this business that's in flux. I've heard there's quite a lot of pressure either to do something with that capital, that excess capital, or give it back to the shareholders. So a little bit of pressure building there.
Paul, your thoughts?
Well, I like these guys. I mean, Dave Hurwitz, who's now the principal person, was always the guy who was involved with capital and fundraising, but Sean Jorno, I mean, they came out, they had a period where they were associated with African Bank, then they went into the SA Taxi Finance business and gave it a full go.
Mark Lamberti,
that's a great
at one
industry.
stage involved in Transaction Capital.
He was the CEO as it listed on the market, and then he moved off to Imperial, and that was partly because they did, the Bayport, remember, was a money lender, which was operational here as well as in other parts of Southern Africa, and they did, the timing of exiting that was pretty good. Paid out a big dividend, so they've looked after the shareholders. I would suspect if they do get to a position where the capital management isn't what they'd like, that they'll act and address that.
What are we seeing from a share price perspective?
Nice.
Looking very good. Lance, have you called this one right? Have you been invested?
I haven't been invested. Really, they unlocked a lot of value from those two disposals. And what they left with isn't as exciting. Given their return on equity, and as I said earlier, I keep referencing to the larger banks, they're really cheap at the moment. There's actually better relative value elsewhere. So given the business where it is now, not hot on it.
Hot, Paul, or not?
I'm going to lean hot. I mean, look, I know the taxi industry is quite controversial in this country. People don't like the way the taxi drivers drive. But if you think about it as an industry that has helped build capital, it's been a private sector solution to our transport challenges. Companies like these facilitate growth in the transport industry and in the taxi industry particularly. I like them. Going hot.